Hey everybody, we're here. If the title says "bra," it's because I was gonna write Brandon, and I didn't finish writing it, and then we came upstairs.
I think like what happened? Something happened.
We were trying to figure out the thing, and then we had to get the dogs, and then we're running late, so then we just like left, and then I got up here, and I'm like, why does it say "bra," brah? We're doing a book club today, guys. Can they see us?
Oh.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Whew. That frightened me.
Don't mind me. I have a really bad headache that I can't get rid of. And I just took some medication, so I'm just like eating some bread so that I have something in my stomach.
Yeah, so you're going to hear her disgusting chewing for like 30 minutes because that's how long it takes her to eat a piece of bread.
Hello, Kristen
Have fun.
and Chelsea, and I apologize because I always say your name wrong. Loves books.
What about Richard?
I'm here. Hello, Richard.
Richard.
Kristen's eating too. She says it's okay. Hey, team made it! I don't know, dude. I've had a headache all day, and it's just kind of like one of those. It's not like a pounding headache, but it's one that just like doesn't want to go away. Almost 5 years.
I've had a headache for almost 5 years.
Hello, books by Britt Nicole. Hello, Henry.
I thought that was hilarious. What are we talking about today? Alloy of Law. This little guy. Literally little. So let's start off with what'd you guys think?
Kivox is in a good mood. Now you just spoiled it. Every time I point out his moods, he gets super cranky.
What'd you guys think? Wait, was that like a sass? Was that sass?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Hey, Christy. All right, so wow, what do I need to do to get that reaction when I make it? When you make what? The stream? I'm sorry. Hello, Richard! I was just catching up with your Wand reviews / Wednesday. So this is a book talk. If you don't want to get this book spoiled for you, you may not want to stay because we're going to spoil the whole thing.
And if you want to just say hi, you can just say hi. That's cool too.
I liked it, but hard to rate compared to the OG trilogy. So you guys made some really good comments in the Discord.
All right, well, were these comments?
But I don't have my phone on me.
What were these comments?
Basically
I also
saying,
don't have my phone. What is this? Where are we right now? Who am I?
We're failing. So, hello, Moon.
Is there a browser Discord?
And hello, yeah. So basically, I agree. This book is very hard to rate because I think Kristen was the one that said, like, you're rating it against other Brandon Sanderson, and you're also rating it against other Mistborn, like the first Mistborn, and it's so unlike the first Mistborn.
It is.
So it's almost unfair to rate it in the same category. However, I'm trying to rate it, and I'm having a hard time rating it myself. We were talking about how we were having a hard time rating it. And I feel like if I take Brandon Sanderson out of the equation, I was still quite bored through a lot of it and just didn't care. Is that bad?
It's your opinion. It's not bad. It's just an opinion.
Oh my god, my head.
I don't think that's my thing. Oh, it is. Okay.
Wow, a lot of people are saying stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry, Meek. I'm blocking it. Can you read it now? Here?
Okay, I gotta go anyway. I'm gonna go on a hike. Have fun.
Ooh.
I liked it. LOL, my thanks. Just about bordered on too much technology for my taste of fantasy writing, but it's Sanderson. How could I not? I agree. However, I think the gun thing was a little too much for me. I almost felt like everything I ever have read up to this point, Brandon Sanderson isn't this far technologically advanced, I guess you could say, which I understand what you mean. So it was different. And I'm just not really a fan of like Western feeling stuff usually, and it was very Western. I like it, but not as much as the original, but I like it more than the last one we read. I don't know if I liked it more than Warbreaker. I don't think so. But that's just my personal opinion. I mean... Hello? I'm not going to be able to say your name. How do you say that?
Finally, jeez.
Marcelo? Marcello.
Yeah, sounds good.
Western feel type of books aren't my favorite. I was bored too sometimes, but it wasn't badly done. I agree it wasn't badly done. I feel it was a little too, like, cookie cutter, like, almost mystery / Western, and I was just kind of like, I didn't really care. Oh,
that's not how you do it on Windows. I forgot. Can you read it still?
Kind of. Would you recommend Brandon Sanderson because I've heard really good things? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I love it and the whole idea of it, that it's a progression in time. I agree. I think that the idea is cool. I don't know how I'm going to feel when they progress even further, like later
With
on.
another series. So I haven't talked about it at all, what I think. I also didn't think it was as good. If I compare it to the other ones, it was, like, not good at all. But if I compare it to itself and just, like, as other books,
That's all right.
compared to other books, it was pretty good. I would probably give it a 4.
See, I'm actually bordering on a 3 to 3.5.
I'm gonna give it a 4 because I am excited
The ending.
for the ending and the setup for the next books. It's like the same
feel like
thing.
they should have started there.
What was it? Warbreaker?
forward.
Is that the last one we read?
Yeah.
I feel like it's the same concept as that. It's like the setup is cool, and I'm hoping that the next. It's like this is almost like a prequel to the main story. When it came to like Mistborn, the original series, it was like the first book was like the beginning. There was no prequel at that point, and we learned about the past as we went. This one, it's like we already know about the past,
Yeah.
but they're still setting up like the characters for us in a completely different way. It was definitely way more of a heist. The original Mistborn was definitely also a heist book. The Final Empire was a heist book.
But it was done so much better.
But you know, it was
I
just
feel
done.
like it was a way more epic
It
scale.
was more epic. Yeah, that's the thing. There was a big bad, god level big bad, as far as you know.
Literally,
you know?
yeah.
And then in this, there really isn't.
And it was like figuring out what to do.
In this, it's more reality. It's more based on like
Yeah.
our past, but if they
like
had
the gods
abilities,
are
gods.
mythical.
Or, yeah,
gods.
and some people don't even believe that they're real.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Can you go up?
Do you not need that anymore? Did I just do all that work for
No,
nothing?
I mean go all the way down. Up a little bit. Up. Oh, okay. Up a little. Up. Up. Hold on. No. I don't know where it is now.
Okay, cool. So I did all that
Anyway.
work for nothing.
All right. I don't like Western either. Thanks, by the way. His whole idea for Mistborn was to get more technologically advanced. I love Wax and Wayne's relationship. Again, I agree. Turning the page that like
Well, let's talk about the characters.
I think he makes great characters. And like some people will argue with that, and I've heard people say that Brandon Sanderson is bad with character development, and I absolutely disagree. I think he's awesome with character development because a lot of his characters I really connect to and I love. And even if I don't connect on a personal level, like
yeah, so
they're good characters.
Even the Emperor from the last the Lord Ruler, like you grew to like almost like him, you know, towards the end. You were just
him.
like, wow, like our whole like he taught us one thing and then it's like towards the end we're like, holy crap, like
yeah.
this guy was actually like really good, you know. It was just like there was so much to it.
So yes, I agree. I think Wayne was a very well written character.
Dude, he was awesome.
Funny and he
was awesome.
Clever.
And the narrator, however you say that, was really good at voices.
The same guy from the first one.
Okay, I'm just saying he was really good at voices and like changing.
Oh
his
yeah,
voice.
changing because Wayne always changed his voice.
His accents
yeah.
and stuff. And I liked it. He was really good.
T said, I prefer Warbreaker. Richard says, the ending though, I nearly shouted out loud. I just wish.
So, do we know who that was?
I
Steel
think
Eyes.
it was,
Iron Eyes, whatever they called him.
what's his name?
Marsh. Yeah, I do too. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think it's Marsh? Do we know?
Because like going back and thinking about it, I don't remember what happened to Marsh.
Well, Marsh was the only like
At the
good
end of
one. I don't remember
the first
either.
one, like,
I don't
but I
remember.
think that's the point. Is like you almost forget about him because he tries to stop. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay.
Marsh.
I think this may have first book syndrome. Maybe we won't like it as much because it was introducing everything. The next two may delve deeper and hook us better. I absolutely agree that it could be that because
They
the
also
ending of this
introduced
just set up.
they introduced like old stuff right at the end, so it was like, oh, now that we know this,
We're
right?
getting
It's like
nostalgic.
it's like, yes, this is what I want. This is what I wanted from this book from the beginning. So I'm really hoping that develops more.
Did I read that their relationship was great? Alloy was supposed to be a standalone short story, not an entire extra series. Okay, I didn't know that.
So if it was that, I could see it being more like the way it was written, because I feel like it was written more like as a standalone
yeah.
than anything else.
What does the term cookie cutter mean? I'm not familiar with it. It just means like follows the same format as like a lot of other things. So like stereotypical, like Western or stereotypical.
Like a Marvel movie. Think about
It's
that,
like a
right?
mold.
A mold, yeah, exactly. So like a Marvel movie, it's kind of always the same thing. Like the origin story, if it's like a single hero one, and then there's some that like, you know, break that mold.
Mm-hmm.
All
right, so yeah. T says 3 to 3.5 for me. Chelsea says 5.
5? Somebody thought it was
Some
a 5. Wow.
It. Ravenclaw Rick. Okay, thanks. I'll look for a Brandon Sanderson book. What would you recommend?
Final Empire.
I recommend starting with Elantris.
I would say Final Empire, because Elantris is like one book and it's good, but there's no like epic like craziness.
I disagree.
They are you think that it's better than the whole Mistborn trilogy?
No. But I loved it.
I didn't think so.
You
may love something, but it's not as good. Final Empire, start there. If you like it, continue on to the next 2 books, and leave this live stream now because we are talking about the sequel to that series. So, just like I want you to stay and continue to watch, but I don't want you to get anything spoiled. So if you haven't left yet, get out of here, and then come back to this after you read them and read these books, and then you'll like it.
Kirsten says I'm between a 3.5 and 4. He's just a great author.
Oh no.
No. And I support him.
We gotta go get them.
You gotta go get them.
All right, okay.
We should have shut the door. I agree. I mean, I still think he's a great author. Maybe we just have like our expectations set way too high at this point. And that's why I didn't love it so much. But I don't know, I tried to take the Brandon Sanderson aspect out of it completely, and it just wasn't my favorite. Kivox is chasing the dogs because they heard the mailman or the Amazon guy. Come on, 11. I felt so bad, side note, because we gave 11 a vaccine yesterday, and then she was
11,
limping last night. I felt so bad.
11.
Go. 11. Good girl. You wait. Sit. Wait. Yeah. All right. Sanitize, please. There's 3 more in this era. 2 have been released and 1 hasn't. Oh, really?
In what era?
I don't know. Maybe. Hey! Sit. Turning the page says I haven't finished yet. Was reading it now, so I'll hop off here pretty soon. I'm really enjoying it so far. I hope you enjoy. She said I don't have much left. Just you wait until the end of Bands of Mourning. That's the 3rd one.
It sure is.
I love that we know more than the characters. We know what really happened and the things they do. I agree, it's kind of cool. Like, I don't usually like that, knowing more than the characters. And I kind of like developing my
But usually you do, depending on how the book is
knowledge
written.
with the characters.
If the book is written in first person, then you know what the character knows. That's the only time. Because any other time, you jump to different characters and you know what's going on there and you know what's going on here.
I guess that's how it's done.
So for the most of the time, dude, I got so much like dog fur in my hair on me.
I don't have, okay. The first time I read it, I just read a physical copy, and the second time I listened to most of it on audio, and it was a whole different experience. I liked it even more the second time. So I did both. I read it and listened to it, and sometimes I would just listen to it. Kristen said, I love the narrator. Marsh!
Well, that was. Wait, what?
Just, we were trying to figure out the ending.
Yeah, you're. Well, the Marsh thing, that's when we mentioned Marsh before.
I know, we're behind.
Wow, you're really behind. You're slow.
Did you guys go look at the newspaper pages in the books? One of the stories is about Iron Eyes, and it throws in a twist that it may not be Marsh. No, I didn't read them. I saw them, and I was just like, oh, that's cool. And then
You didn't read this?
No.
You're dumb.
They should have read it in the book, in the audiobook.
Ooh, I love maps.
I have to read them now. My signal keeps cutting out because I'm on a train, so apologies if I repeat what I said, but I think, excuse me, it was always going to be slightly disappointing because
You can't, like, burp
such good
and
things
then
before.
apologize for it.
I said, excuse me.
That's my point. It's like if I farted on your face and I went, sorry. It's that.
I give it a 5, but I've read it twice now. First physical, second time audio.
Nice.
Thank you for your videos and answers. I'll see you later. Okay, that was the person. Sweats! I was gone for 5 minutes and Kivox is gone. I'm looking forward to seeing Marsh's role. You get
If you
packages?
think about it, he's still like a god. Pretty much. Because he's like one of the few that can still hope.
I didn't know that they didn't die, though.
Who's
the
Steel Inquisitors? What do you mean they didn't die?
Like, he's still alive. It's been hundreds of years.
Well, I mean, they have spikes going through their faces and all over their body. Like
That's just to get, like...
They're pretty much dead.
Yeah.
What, something about Sunday?
You get packages on Sundays? I'm jealous.
Only on Amazon.
Era 2 will be 4 books. I think you have to have Amazon Prime to get it on Sundays. Page 141 for Iron Eyes. I liked getting a little bit of Sazed. Yeah, I liked how Sazed was like, telling him how even if they feel like he's not helping, he is helping. Iron Eyes sightings on the rise, that part. Reports are flooding the city. Sightings of Iron Eyes himself. When death stalks the streets of Ellendale. How do you like that name of the city? I thought that was cool. It's like
Ellen, yeah. Whoa! What about the language thing? The High Imperial or whatever it was.
What?
There was like a language that they spoke that was like High Imperial or something like that.
I don't know.
And it was like Spook's language. It was like a royal language, but it was like Spook's language. I was like, that's awesome.
That was good.
He's like, I speak it a little bit, and then they
wasn't the knowing.
It was so great.
How can you know that you are safe? Printed here are 16 tips proven to keep Iron Eyes from your home. Words are included to make him pass over you while sleeping and to frighten him if the worst happens and you encounter him in person. Exclusive report on the back, 4th column. Don't be one of the few left without proper protection. Read on or else. Am I reading the wrong thing? A woman in the 5th octant suffered a harrowing experience when a fire broke out in her tenement. She and her children were saved by a shadowy figure she swore was wearing the face of her departed husband. A sighting of one of the faceless immortals. Delusion, simple fantasy, you decide. Story on the reverse in the 5th column. Is that the part you're talking about? Maybe it's not. What's his face? I read this whole thing.
Oh.
Because she said it looked like her husband, but maybe that's just like her being in like shock or something. I don't know.
Maybe her husband's just ugly. It has iron for eyes.
I liked getting a little bit of say that. Okay, I have Amazon Prime, but no Sunday deliveries here. I think it's only because we have
a facility.
Well, no, they do. Sometimes it is the post office that delivers it on Sunday, but also our Amazon where we live has their own postal service where they deliver. Cut me out for 6 more minutes. Spook's speech, High Imperial, laughy faces.
It is High Imperial, right? Is that what I said?
Yeah, I think so. Did anyone comment on Marsh? That's basically my obsession here. That's
Yeah, I
kind of
mean
what we're
that's the
talking
thing, right?
about.
So the whole book, I was just kind of like, oh, it's kind of like I think it would make a great movie. I think like this book would make like a cool like standout like fantasy, like whatever age
Steampunk-ish
steampunk-ish book.
Western.
I think that would be really cool. But I still feel like the other. I think that this would translate to a movie better than the original series because the original series is very. There's a lot of like high concepts there, and there's a lot that happens in one book. Like this could be, I think, one movie. You know what I mean? Like the amount of like information that's in this, and it would be a lot simpler for people to understand this than something like the other one because there's a lot of deep emotion and stuff like that. This one doesn't really have like.
I didn't have that
And there's
connection.
There's 3 main characters
opposed to like 10.
opposed to like all the other ones from the other the other book. So I
Um,
definitely feel like this is a much. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it can translate to movies or whatever, but he did say that if he had to choose one of his series, it would be the Mistborn series to make into like a because he feels like it's the easiest to at least this is what I've heard him say. It's the easiest to translate to like a video game or a movie, like the powers to translate.
I would agree thus far. Like we're still not finished, but
I feel like they didn't really like explain enough about like the powers in this one, like the new powers.
yeah, like the bubbles.
No, not the bubbles. That's fine.
I thought it was
but I'm just
kinda
like
cool.
confused. How many medals are there now?
I think they know of there are the 16, right? Like, cause their whole thing was like 8 is a powerful number in this, and like there's 16, cause it's like 8 metals and they're alloys or whatever. But they talked about like what's his face, who's Wax's friend? The other guy.
What?
Wax.
Wayne?
Yeah. So he mentioned something about bismuth, and like I was like, what is that?
You don't know what bismuth is?
But we never heard about that being an elementic metal.
We never heard about the time stopping or the time acceleration either.
Yeah.
Like
They didn't really explain any of that. I was gonna say something before and you cut me off, and now I don't remember. Dang it. Oh, I find it weird how the Mistborn like don't exist anymore.
I don't find that weird
find
because
it
there was
weird.
already very few of them, and then now they're like gene split up even more. Unless they continue to breed together, that would slowly go away more and more. Because even if you have 2 Mistborns that breed, there's still a small chance that there's gonna be a new Mistborn born from that.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's just gonna keep splitting up and opening and opening and opening.
How do you like? I like the fact that they have like the ferrochemy and
Together.
whatever
That's
together.
dope. Yeah, that was
I
cool.
thought that was cool. Hello, Iron Man Avengers.
I like how they have also like specific names like lurchers and stuff like that for like the combos.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was really cool.
T says I get mail only Monday to Friday, never on the weekend. That sucks.
Not even Saturday? Oh wait, you're in Canada.
Kristen says so it could be what's it called? You the shifters since there's Kolos blood.
Oh, and then the Kolos thing. I what happened there? Like they
I
could breed?
Don't understand that either because
Yeah.
like they made it seem like you created Kolos by basically taking dead bodies.
They were like
for
zombies,
it. Yeah.
basically, like reanimated
that grew
zombies.
for some reason.
But maybe Seiza changed something about them. You know,
Maybe.
we don't know that.
That's weird. Yes, to the movie thing, I was thinking the same thing. You know what I want? I want us to find Spook's family line.
Think about it though. Like, can you stop doing that? You're gonna ruin your book. She's doing this. She keeps like peeling it up, and she's gonna ruin it. It's not even my book. But I think that it would be really cool if they made a movie series out of like these 3, and then did like a trilogy or like a bigger series for the prequels. You know what I mean? Like even though these aren't like those are the original, these are sequels. But I think that'd be cool if they did it like that. You know, like 3 books for this story, and then also, I don't get this picture. Or I mean that one we don't understand, but I don't get this picture. It doesn't make sense.
Do you want to know more about Spook's family line?
Not
I
really.
think it'd be cool.
It doesn't matter to me. I mean, I'm sure he became like some sort of royal.
So, Chelsea says, oh yeah, because in the end he became a Mistborn. You get more info about.
He did?
Yeah, they made him a
Oh,
Mistborn.
yeah. They made him a Mistborn. I forgot. They didn't make him.
Sazed.
Sazed made him a Mistborn.
You get more info about the new stuff in the next books.
So much happened at the end of that book. It was so freaking good.
The first ones.
So good.
Wow, it's very small compared to the first trilogy. Did it lose some scenes? Like, it didn't explain everything and doesn't fit story-wise? No, I feel like they explained everything.
It was a very lean cut of meat. You know, there was no fat at all. It was just it was like to the point.
It's not the level of detail that we're used to.
Yeah.
And I feel like the ending introduced an element that could make the next book better.
But I feel like I mean the next book isn't even that long either. It's like the same thing.
Yeah.
Sadly. But like maybe it's a good thing though because like.
But this book, I felt like it was just all like a Western mystery.
Yeah, like I didn't really feel like there was any urgency. Like I didn't care about those people that got kidnapped.
I still don't understand why the women were kidnapped.
Whatever, they got kidnapped. And yeah, exactly.
Maybe I missed that.
And like, why were they only like what is it called, allomancers?
Like basically, we heard a lot of like guesses as to why the women were kidnapped, whether it had to do with like breeding and stuff like that, like creating another Mistborn, but like we don't know why. I don't feel like they explained it, and if they did, they didn't do it well. Okay. I totally know the answer to the Mistborn question. The Ars Arcanum in the back has the metals and their allomantic and ferrochemical powers. Oh, there's a thing in the back.
Not on this. The Arcanum. Unbounded?
No. The picture is a train. Oh.
Yeah, but like, who is this?
What's his face? It's a mist cloak, right? So it's probably supposed to be Wax in his mist cloak.
Oh, he has long hair? And then the other cover's worse because like, definitely doesn't look like him because what's his face has like a gun and stuff. There's no thing in the back of this. Oh, there is.
Ars Arcanum.
There's no bismuth.
That's another thing. Maybe Sazed made it so full Mistborn aren't possible. I'm gonna have to give up. If someone could tell me on Discord what book is next, we'd appreciate it. So, well, I'll have to write it on. I think I wrote it actually a little while ago, but I'll have to pin it on there. Sorry I'm late. Hello, Customs.
This is great. I wish I had this before. This is a cheat sheet.
I can no longer see her here. Okay, also Steris versus Marcy or whatever her name was. Wax is a dumbass, so annoying. Why? I mean, obviously I want him to be with Marcy because she's awesome, but Brandon withholds info and gives it away slower. He does the same thing in Stormlight. I feel like if it was an entirely new series, I don't mind if you withhold information and give it to me slowly, but because we already know so much about the Mistborn series, it was almost annoying. You know what I mean?
Does anybody remember the bismuth scene
that I'm talking about?
When somebody talked about, because I remember that too, but it's not in there.
He mentions bismuth. I don't remember why. They kidnapped the women so they can use them to breed, supposedly, but I think it was left vague for a reason. But, like, do they explain at the end? Because, like, one of the big reveals was Mr. Suit was what's-his-face's uncle. Wax's uncle. And I kind of got confused by the ending. Like, was it all just, like, an insurance thing? Like, I don't think so, even though that's what his uncle's claiming it was. But what was it? Like, did you guys understand?
Oh, yeah, because he, like, was playing dumb. Wax was like, I know that that's not the case.
Yeah.
I'm going to just, do this and that, So, no, I mean, I don't think that that's what it actually was. There has to be a bigger freaking story here. Because if that's the case, then I don't care about the next book.
Did anyone...
It doesn't matter. So there has to be some more mystery to that.
Catch the name of the flowers. There's certain flowers called, like, mare or something. Mare lilies or mare something. And named after, like,
the flower
Kelsier's
from the
old
mare
wife.
in the flower, in the picture?
Yeah. I
I just realized they had photographs.
think it was a drawing originally.
Oh.
I think if he ends up with someone, it'll be Marcy in the end, but it's gonna be Steris crap. But there is going to be Steris crap, and I think it's dumb. I get why he would marry her, but still. But I also think, like, he's still traumatized by what happened with what's her face, Leslie, or whatever her name
He's
was.
fine.
Ish. I like when there's a big element of mystery like that, holding back info. I think Brandon is giving us some info that isn't fully true, as if we're wax ourselves and we need to figure it out. There is a huge story. Every time he said comb, I thought he was saying clubs and I got excited. I don't remember.
Who's calm?
I don't know. But yeah, what other major developments were there? Really not many.
I think there were some cool, like, timey-wimey, freezy-timey things. Those are cool. The bubbles, the being able to, like, push out the bubble and be able to,
Yeah, but, like, why can they all of
encompass.
a sudden do that? And they were never able to do that before.
They didn't have those time-stopping powers before.
No,
Oh,
but even,
with
like,
the
the
push?
steel bubble.
I mean, maybe it's just, like, a development of the power. A lot more people probably have abilities now. Maybe it's just somebody developed that. Before, like, it hadn't been around for a long. It's like saying, how come we have computers now and a keyboard, but we didn't have them, 100 years ago? How does that happen? It's been what, 200 years, right? You would imagine that the powers would, like, evolve in some way. That maybe they changed themselves, but maybe also people just figured out new ways to use them. I mean, look at what's her face. Look at Vin. She, like, learned how to use her powers and, like,
ways that no one else
new
had.
things.
And
Yeah.
plus, like, she was like one of the only ones, or the only
Being
one
able to travel with the horseshoes
that
and
was
stuff.
able to, like, absorb the mist powers at certain points. Marcy Colm is her last name. The new metals were found, and I think they kept testing their powers. They evolved the later in the time stream of the Mistborn universe. I mean, look at the new ferrochemical stuff going on. So is Vin still in the mists? I think her and Ellen are just, like, kind of
Spoilers
for the last
for anyone
series.
that hasn't read it. The first series. We're gonna say what happens to the main characters at the end. Just warning you. You have time to leave now,
Mute.
or just mute it. Okay.
But I feel like
They died.
they did die, but I still feel like in
No.
a sense, their spirits were still around because
I gotta pee.
Sazin said he
BRB.
talked to them.
I'm stuck.
As far as major elements, remember, this was supposed to be a short story with no sequels. He was going to jump from Era 1, have Alloy standalone, and then jump all the way to the 80s. That's interesting. Hey, you wait. Sit. Sit. Wait. So is that going to be the next series, like an 80s, like, series? Because, like, that's crazy. And I mean, so I'm going to wait for Kivox to come back. Wait. Like, do you feel that the development of their world would be similar to ours? Because I kind of find it weird that, like, they're going from, like, old school to Western, then it's going to be 80s. It's kind of like...
It's not Western right now. It's like the what's it called?
Sit.
The revolution.
Sit. Industrial
Revolution right
Sit.
now.
Sit.
They're developing electricity
Sit. No.
and other sorts of power. Why did you just stop? She was still right there. You could have just grabbed her, but now you just let her get off the chair.
And that thought process...
Meek, she's right there. Can you get her back on the chair, please?
Come here. Come here. Go up there. Come on.
You should snap your fingers, and you could probably get her to go up there.
Sit. Sit. Wait. In that thought process, then no one is in the mists anymore. but then why do they still come, and why is it that I was wondering the same thing.
I think it's Sazed.
I thought the mists were gone, like, because think about it.
I think it's a way that Sazed like keeps an eye on everything. Like he kind of just moves around, and he's one of the mists, because that's what, like, how the mist travel. The mist was basically the good side of the thing, right? What do he call himself? Like equality or something?
No. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but
balance, like, or something like that. Tranquility, or what was his name? What did he call himself? It was something like that. Jeez, you're like shaking your head like I'm an idiot.
No, I'm not.
You're like,
no, I don't mean
harmony.
it like that.
Told you, equality, harmony, pretty similar words.
That's not what I was thinking of either. There's another word that they used.
For harmony?
No.
Sazed?
No. The good side and the bad side.
Yes, that doesn't matter.
Anyway, so...
Ruin and something else.
Anyway.
I love how I just stopped your brain from working for like 5 seconds there.
I also feel, though, like the mists were created because the old emperor, or whatever he was, Lord Ruler, he ruined the placement of the earth, and the sun was too hot, and it
preservation.
Killed everything. Yes, thank you, Chelsea. That's the word I was thinking of.
But together they become harmony. Ruin and preservation become harmony.
Okay.
That's...
Okay. I forgot that. But yeah, so I feel like that I always thought the mists were created because of that. And like, yes, I knew at the end that the mists did have some sort of mystical element to them.
Ha!
What? Uh-huh. No pun intended. But yeah. Yep, more of a right now era for Era 3, but I hear it was going to be more like the 80s, or be like the 80s. Their development has to be different because it includes their powers, and that has to vastly affect how things would go. I agree. That's what I would think.
I feel like it may, so you can say that about like anything though. Remember like the butterfly effect? Like if you change one thing in our past, it may drastically change the future. So you got to take it with a grain of salt here. Like, let's just say that they're developing the same way that we are. I'm sure there's going to be changes, but maybe they'll develop faster. Maybe they'll develop slower, you know? It's like Full Metal Alchemist, for example, right? Most of you probably don't know what that is, but it's basically, there's 2 universes in that they explore. They explore our world in one of them, but only for like a short period. But in the main world, like alchemy existed, and you were able to do things with magic, basically magic existed, and therefore technology didn't advance in the same way. But then in our world it was like, you know, bombs and airplanes and all these crazy things, but in their world it was more based on like, it was like steam power stuck around for a long time. They didn't really like figure out like gasoline or any of that because they had other ways of doing things. So maybe they'll develop faster, maybe they'll develop differently, but it really all depends on how he wants to write it, because we could just say that it develops the same way, you know?
I think Scandriel maybe is supposed to have the closest to Earth resemblance. Is that like the planet we're on? Harmony, ruin, and preservation. I know that one. Full Metal Hearts. I need to rewatch. Well, heck, we're already getting electricity in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to how we started progressing on our planet, I think, as of right now. But we'll see. I mean, I can understand that, like, that after, like, light and things like that, you're going to have, like, computer technology coming next, which would essentially be the 80s era. I wonder if they're going to have hair metal bands, because that would be awesome.
I just wonder if, like, how the powers are gonna... Hey!
Sit! What is wrong with you?
I think 11's taking up a lot of the bed.
Scandriel...
I want to see how the powers are gonna evolve, if there's gonna be new
Mistborn
metals. Planet. You know?
You guys are great, thank you.
Thank
Proteus,
you.
Maximus. I can't think of anything else.
How did that happen?
Because I noticed our hands were different.
So I did too. So I switched it. If only we had planned that.
Yeah. People have asked if our Earth will be in the Cosmere, and Branderson said it won't. Well, it's a different universe. I'm cool with it. We don't have magic in our universe.
It could just be a different galaxy. They're pretty far away. But the Earth is flat, right?
What's your favorite wand? It's a Cosmere universe. So, the next book... I don't have it. Can you pull up the calendar?
Sure, ma'am.
The next book... I don't have a copy yet. It's coming in Tuesday because I just bought it. It's going to be September 15th. It is the next book in the Andrew Rowe series we're reading. I think it's called...
Mirror?
Stealing Sorcery?
I thought it was the mirror. Oh, yeah, you're right.
I think it's called Stealing Sorcery. So that one's going to be September...
Oh.
Nope. Okay, yeah.
Okay, continue talking, please.
The 15th, and then we're going to be reading for... I need the calendar. It is Stealing Sorcery.
Yeah, right there.
Next month.
It's going to be the 25th.
29th is going to be the
Yeah.
next one in the Brandon Sanderson read-along that we're doing. Shadows of Self is going to be the 29th. So September 15th is Andrew Rowe, Stealing Sorcery. September 29th is Shadows of Self. Both at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oops.
You okay?
I got lipstick everywhere. So yes.
Man,
That's it.
sleepy.
Go back to the thing.
Oh, the chat.
Uh.
That was weird.
In a galaxy far, far away. I love your guys been watching for ages. I have a question about Patreon when you guys are done. People who have read Steelheart have asked if that world, which is Earth, was going to be in it. No, yeah, I heard Steelheart is not part of the Cosmere. You guys make me happy. Thank you. Good chat. Still don't know about my rating. I don't know. I think a 3.5.
4.
Is what I'm doing.
I got a 4. Hopefully I remember that when we do our wrap-up. We should start writing our ratings in the book.
I write mine on Goodreads. How do you get a bruise on your hand? Like, how? How? I don't even know how I did it.
You punch your hand with your other hand.
I punched something by accident this morning. Not really punched, but I hit my knuckle on it. So that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. What is your question about Patreon before we leave? Favorite Harry Potter book? I would say my favorite is the 6th one. Probably.
Mine always changes every week, so today it's the 6th one.
Touch the door. Yep, getting a bruise. I usually don't bruise very easily, but the older I get, the more easily I bruise.
Yeah, you're an old lady. You're like 11.
Old lady.
That comment that I just made makes no sense.
You're like 11. The dog. Bye, everyone. Bye, Kristen. Bye, T.
Patreon question. What was it?
That's what I'm waiting for.
Who asked? Who asked? Who said that they have a Patreon question?
Custom. Can I do a one-time payment, or do I have to do like a subscription?
So you can if you can do it every month.
So I think once you sign up, you get charged, and then
every month you would get charged.
Every month you would get charged.
So it's like
you
a subscription.
Could technically sign up, get charged, and then cancel
if you want.
If you wanted to.
Yeah.
But yeah, because they changed it now to where you get charged right away for your first month.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys for watching.
Say bye, Meek.
Say bye, Meek.
Bye,
Bye,
Meek.
Meek.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye, guys. See ya in like 2 weeks. I mean, we'll see you probably sooner. So, yeah.
You have a good Sunday too.
Thanks. I'm hungry, Meek. Can I have some of that bread? Thank you.
It's not very good.
No, it's not. It's stale as hell. It's super dry.
Hey, 11, you want some breads? Not you. You'll get sick. Nope.